What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be teaching you the display property values in CSS. Alright, now let's get started. And if you don't know what the display property is, it's basically a property that specifies how an element should be displayed. And let's start by making an H1 and a paragraph under like this, and I'm just going to type in block on this one and then inline on this one. And I'm actually going to change this P to span, and I'll show you why later. So I made a mistake. Anyway, and now if we go to our styles, we're going to select everything, and we're going to change the background color to this sort of blue. So I'm going to use the RGBA value because we're going to have to set the opacity or the alpha to something like 0.4. And I'm going to make it a bit lighter. And now you'll see why. So basically what this does is it's going to set the background color of everything. So the body is going to have a background color, the H1 and the span, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Now I'm going to open up Live Server like this, and there we go. And now the reason I put block for the H1 is because that's the value for the display property, and that's the same case for this span. And now the reason that the background for this one stretches out as far as it could go is because every block level element starts on a new line and it takes up as much width as it can. And for inline elements, they do not start on a new line and they take up as much space as necessary, which means that it's only going to take up the amount of space that the letters are going to need. And so if I add another inline, then it's not going to start a new line and it's just going to go to the right of this one. And if I actually add another H1 like this, then we're going to start a new line because it takes up 100% of the available space it has. And the reason it actually doesn't take up the space here is because we have something that's called padding and margin, which is set on default. And to remove that, we're going to want to go here and then just type in padding 0, and same thing with margin. And now if we go back, then that issue is going to be fixed. And so of course, if we want to, we can I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna delete this H1. We can change the display property. So if we select all of our spans and then type in display block, then now they're going to be displayed block and they're going to start a new line, and we can change the H1 to display and an inline, which means that it won't take up all the that it will take up as much space as necessary, and we can even add another one. So we can do block element, or actually no, this one's going to be inline now. And these two are going to be block. So we just do that, and now let's take a look. So there we go. So now we have two H1s, which are inline elements, and two spans that are block elements. And so the reason I actually changed from paragraphs to spans because I forgot that paragraphs on default are going to be block elements. And as you can see, I haven't done anything to the paragraphs, and so let's take a look. There we go. So as you can see, this paragraph is going to be block on default. So there's every single element has its own default display, and you can change it easily, like I showed you before here. And so there is this display none, which it's pretty interesting. So if we select all of the, let's see what we have here. I'm gonna get back these spans, and if I select all of them and I put none, well, what's gonna happen is we're basically just not gonna have them, and so it's basically like putting them, well, setting them invisible. And there's actually also a property for that, so we could just do visibility hidden, and that would do the same thing. And it's not here, but if we go to a developer console, it's still going to be here, but it's just invisible. And we can see this space right here. So there's also this inline block value right here, and this is going to be the end result. So it's sort of like an inline block. I mean, sorry, it's like an inline element, but it's also a block element. And you could just search up on Google, what's the difference between a normal inline element and an inline block. And yeah, so there isn't really much to say. If you're really curious about any other display values, then you could just go here and I don't know, let's say you want to try table cell, and then just take a look, you try them. If you're really curious about one, then you could just search up on Google if you don't understand how it works or anything. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. So if you guys have any questions or any video requests, then leave a comment down below. Like this video if you liked it. Sub to the channel for more content like this, and see you in the next video.